Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and if you're ever feeling down in life, if you ever feel like you're never enough and you're just not ever gonna find love, just realize that you'll never be as bad and as ugly as 2016 Torbjorn. But then quickly remember that you'll never be as hot, sexy, and slim, thick as 2019 Torbjorn, because my God, is that perfect! Honestly, realizing that, what's the point in living? Welcome everybody to that was the worst transition. This is the mini-series called 3 Years Ago, where we take a deep dive in, and that's not the only thing I want to deep dive in. I really gotta stop. 3 years ago is a mini-series where we take a specific hero, and we just look at the glow-up phase that they went through. We did this with Symmetra, we did this with Mercy, Roadhog, and now we're doing it with the hottest and sexiest hero of all time, Torbjorn. Now, as most Overwatch veteran players would remember, Torbjorn was the biggest throw hero way back in the day, not only because he was bad, and when I say bad, he was really bad for how Overwatch was played, but he was also just a goofy hero. He was short, he was stubby, he had a little tiny hammer, he had funny voice lines, so that's the reason why so many trolls gravitated towards Torbjorn, is because he was Torbjorn. But then Blizzard slowly took note of this. I'm not gonna lie, it took a long time until they actually made Torbjorn into a viable hero, but they did keep the goofy, wacky dynamic of Torbjorn. It's not like they added height to him, it's not like they made him hashtag 6 foot. No, they still kept the theme of Torbjorn alive, but somehow made him better. And in my personal opinion, this is how you rework a hero, because there is a reason for Torbjorn to be in the game. He's not like most DPS heroes, but he can act like a DPS hero, where beforehand he was a defense hero, beforehand he was a throw hero. So how did this all change? Well, this is Torbjorn 3 years ago. Now, my history of Overwatch is a little bit foggy, but if I do recall, Torbjorn was one of, if not the original heroes built for Overwatch, and in fact probably even built for the original build of Titan. So of course Blizzard and the Overwatch team aren't just gonna get rid of the little baby if it's not really working out in Overwatch, and man, was that annoying! Overwatch was an FPS game built on the idea that players were gonna cooperate and play specific heroes. I'm sorry. So that meant that if you were on defense, you were clearly going to play defense heroes like Torbjorn. Torbjorn is a specialized defense hero. Wanna know the crazy part about that? People play Torbjorn on attack. So you're allowed to do that, but you're just not supposed to do that, especially in Torbjorn's case, because he is a specialized defense hero where he's extremely stationary. You not only have to place your turret with it, you can't just throw it, but you also have to build it yourself. You have to spend long seconds building it with your hammer, and then if it gets shot at, you have to stay with it to be able to rebuild it, which means you're not gonna go far away from your turret, and that's just how Torbjorn was built, which is why he was a terrible hero, specifically on attack. On defense, yeah, he was great because he was made for defense, but people didn't play Torbjorn on defense. And that stationary idea gets pushed even harder with Torbjorn when you think back to his scrap passive ability. If you guys don't remember this, it's a huge throwback because even I forgot about it, but if you don't remember, Torbjorn would collect scrap from the dead bodies of his enemies. Not over time, that would soon change, but he would actually have to go to the dead bodies, collect scrap, and that would make armor packs, which he would then throw to ideally himself and his teammates. But then those armor packs would be stationary. So if you're on an attack payload or a control map and your teammates move past the armor packs, then they're not benefiting from it. So not only do you have to move forward to collect scrap, but you also have to stay with your turret and also collect armor packs for your teammates that are moving forward. You see how he is not just built for attacks. So once again, Blizzard took to the drawing boards to try to rework this throw hero, along with Symmetra, along with Bastion, just so many throw heroes in this time. One of the first things that changed this stationary idea about Torbjorn came on November 15, 2016, so relatively early in Overwatch's life, where they actually gave Torbjorn the ability to generate scrap over time. Remember, you had to go and collect scrap at dead bodies like I mentioned before, and now it even got decreased by 40%, so they're slowly allowing Torbjorn to get a little bit aggressive, but you still can't because you have to be with your turret, which is the reason why you played Torbjorn to begin with, or at least one of the reasons why you played. Yeah, he was a decent DPS, but you had this turret that was 100% accurate while shooting the enemy, but you also have to just stay with it. So yeah, this helps a little bit, but you're still going to be the stationary dwarf in the back line, or at least ideally in the back line. So in about the span of 4.5 minutes, you now understand why Torbjorn was really bad at this time. Want to know the funny part? It seemed like the Blizzard team took a little bit longer to understand that, because it would be about 2 years until we saw just another Torbjorn change, not just a major rework, just another, actually, no, I lied. On February 28th, 2017, he now reloads ammo a little bit earlier. So now we have this throw hero with a cute little hammer that is getting progressively worse during these 2 years. Not in terms of how he performs, but just how the community really views him as a whole. Every single time you saw Torbjorn got picked, you right away thought that they were throwing, because there really isn't any reason to play Torbjorn other than the fact that his turret is 100% accurate. And on console specifically, this was a problem all on its own, because on console, it's traditionally harder to aim on that platform. But when it comes to Torbjorn's turret, it's not like you're aiming for the turret, it's the same turret that is on PC versus on console. But on console, it is a lot harder to aim, so if you have this thing that is 100% accurate, it's gonna be a lot better on that platform specifically. So at least in console's case, you would play Torbjorn for that reason, but still, like, while it was a little bit of a benefit, it wasn't too much of a benefit to justify you playing Torbjorn versus playing someone like a dive hero, like Genji or a Tracer or whatnot. You still want to play those heroes if you were really persistent on playing Torbjorn, maybe, but don't, please do not play Torbjorn. I want to win. So then after a bit of time, Torbjorn received a change on October 9, 2018 that wasn't all too game breaking. It wouldn't change much about Torbjorn, but oh, this is the Torbjorn rework patch. Yeah. This made Torbjorn good. Now, was he the best DPS hero? No, but he was now viable. No longer was his turret a ball and chain because it would do its own thing, but that was the reason why you played Torbjorn, was the turret. But now you can finally be aggressive on attack, which is how Overwatch is ideally supposed to be played. That's the most fun way, because I don't know really anyone that isn't a Widow main that likes to stay in the back and just hammer away at something that shoots for you. That's just no fun. But now with this rework, oh, it's so beautiful. His rivet gun is just an overall better DPS experience. It shoots faster, it has more damage. His turret now is just deployed without you having to be there. Now you can just throw it and it'll build on its own. So the time that you would spend building that turret, you can be a DPS hero. And if it gets destroyed, so what? It'll just be on a 10-second cooldown, and then you'll be able to throw it again. So it's peace of mind. You don't have to worry about your turret. You don't have to spend time building or rebuilding it. And now his new ability, Overload, allows him to be aggressive on attack. Remember how I said the turret was a ball and chain and that you had to stay in the backline to always rebuild it? Well, now not only do you just throw it and just forget about it, but now you're actually encouraged to be aggressive. Now you're actually encouraged to be on attack playing with Torbjorn, because now you're able to run faster, shoot faster, and have a lot more health because of this single ability. This is what Overwatch heroes needs, are abilities that encourage them to push forward, to press W, or to move the thumbstick up, because they don't have to be afraid of dying. I really do think that if Torbjorn didn't have Overload, he would still be considered that defense hero that you would never ever want to try to play on attack, because, well, why would you? You're just gonna die so easily. You're not gonna be able to be aggressive like someone like Tracer or Genji or Doomfist, when those are the exciting heroes in Overwatch that are encouraged to go and be aggressive, which is the best part about Overwatch. So now we have a turret that is no longer a toddler, but a grown adult that you don't have to worry about. It'll do its own thing. You have an ability that allows you to push forward, and on top of that, an ultimate that even encourages that aggressive playstyle even more, because beforehand you would have Molten Core that you would have to stay in the back line still and even hammer away even more, just wasting more time. Now with this new ultimate Molten Core, it's still the same name. Now you can push forward because you're gonna have a pool of lava behind the enemy that if you even try to push them and they try to back up, well, they're just gonna burn alive. And that is the best part about Torbjorn. Now Torbjorn is fitting the ideal fun mode of Overwatch, where you're able to play in any given situation and you're no longer punished because you're a specialized hero. Beforehand, Overwatch was trying to fit the mode of Torbjorn in this specialized role. Well, if you don't realize, people are complete idiots and don't realize the unspoken rules of Overwatch, because that was the thing. That was the unspoken rule of Overwatch, was that you played defense heroes on defense, played attack heroes on attack, and you never swapped or mixed them. You never really did that. Sure, it might work in certain situations like attack payload with Bastion, but that wasn't how you played Overwatch. Well, people didn't realize that unspoken rule, so Blizzard decided, all right, F it. let's just make him an attack hero altogether, and so they did. But even though they laid out the main foundation for Torbjorn and pushed this new idea that Torbjorn can be used in more situations than just defense, they weren't done tweaking him. Now, of course, they weren't gonna rework him like they did on October 9th, but they added a little bit more damage for his molten core a few months later, and they also nerfed his secondary form of fire, which I thought was interesting. But then you gotta imagine, this dude is a DPS machine. Not only does he have his rivet gun and also his hammer if you're a little troll, but that also gets more powerful with his overload ability and his turret and then his lava. There is just so much going on with this man's that whenever I play Torbjorn, I often find myself getting gold anything, golden limbs, gold damage, just because of how much damage is being output by him. But the thing that shot Torbjorn's stock way into the stratosphere came on July 16th, 2019. If you remember this glorious day, he received something that would change the game of Overwatch forever. It wasn't a buff, it wasn't a nerf, and it wasn't even a rework. It was in fact a skin, because he got the greatest skin of all time, Torbjorn, Surf, and Splash! Oh my god! This skin is sexy. Torbjorn is sexy. This whole entire game is sexy because it was blessed with this skin. I really still can't believe they did this. Like, they took the meme of Bikini Torbjorn, and while they weren't gonna give him an actual bikini because then this would be an A-rated game, like adults only, because this would be way too sexual, this is the next best thing. And that's why I love Blizzard, is that they really take their time to rework a hero to make sure that they don't have to go back and revisit it. Even though they kind of still do that with Symmetra, with Mercy, but at least with Torbjorn, they got it right on the first try, which I'm just so happy, because Torbjorn, the more I play him, the more fun I have with him, because I have the turret that does most of my work for me, and sometimes I get a kill with my rivet gun. But anyway, guys, that was Torbjorn 3 years ago. Please let me know what you think about Torbjorn's glow up, because I feel like he had the best and quickest glow up out of all the heroes in Overwatch. But I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch videos to come, and bye.